Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a huge power move, literally. The Baltic nations, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, have officially disconnected from the Russian power grid and synced up with the EU. This isn't just flipping a switch, it's a geopolitical earthquake. But is it a calculated risk worth taking, or are we just setting the stage for a potential energy war? Stick around, because we're about to break it all down. For decades, these countries were tethered to the Russian grid, a legacy of the Soviet era. This wasn't just about electrons. It was about dependence, vulnerability, and a lingering shadow of the past. Think about it. Your energy supply controlled by a nation with, let's just say, different values and interests. This disconnect is a symbolic and very real break from that past. So, what exactly happened? After years of preparation and nearly 1.6 billion euros invested in upgrading grids, the Baltic states finally pulled the plug. They're now operating independently and synchronized with the EU's grid frequency and standards. This means they're no longer relying on Russia for keeping the lights on. It's like finally cutting the cord after being stuck with a terrible cable provider for years. But here's a twist. Russia's Kaliningrad exclave is now electrically isolated. Kaliningrad needs to operate its power system independently, which is a big deal. Russia's responded by investing in gas-fired power plants there. Was this pure economics, or something else entirely? It's hard to see it as a commercial venture, folks. Something's definitely brewing here. Okay, let's drill down into the immediate impacts. First and foremost, it's about increased energy security for the Baltics. They now have greater control over their energy supply and are less vulnerable to potential blackmail or disruptions from Russia. Imagine the peace of mind knowing your energy isn't a political pawn. That's the goal here. They're also gaining operational independence. This means they're controlling their own destiny when it comes to power. This is a huge win for sovereignty and self-determination. But it also means they're responsible for maintaining that stability, which is no small feat. But this isn't just a Baltic story. EU grid operators are now responsible for integrating these grids into their system. This requires adjustments to existing infrastructure and procedures to ensure stability across the wider network. It's like adding a new wing to a house. You need to make sure it's structurally sound and doesn't compromise the rest of the building. Here's a silver lining. This integration could supercharge the growth of renewable energy in the Baltics. The EU's commitment to renewables and a more integrated grid could encourage massive investment in wind, solar, and other green projects. Think about it. A chance to build a cleaner, more sustainable future, powered by the sun and wind. That's a pretty compelling vision. And let's not forget about cybersecurity. With heightened tensions and the risk of sabotage, there's likely to be a surge in demand for cybersecurity services to protect critical energy infrastructure. This is a new battleground, and the Baltic nations are on the front lines. Expect to see cybersecurity firms flocking to the region. On a socio-economic level, this move reduces the geopolitical risk associated with energy dependence on Russia. This could improve investor confidence and boost economic stability in the Baltic region. Investors like stability. Less risk means more money flowing in. Now, for the potential downside. Consumers in the Baltics could initially experience higher energy prices as the transition occurs. The EU energy market can be volatile. But membership in the EU energy market could also provide access to more competitive pricing in the long term. It's a bit of a gamble, but one they feel is worth taking. This disconnection is a powerful symbolic break from the Soviet past, reinforcing the Baltic states' independence and sovereignty. It sends a clear message. We are in control of our own destiny. This matters. A lot. Okay, let's talk about the risks. This isn't all sunshine and rainbows. One of the biggest concerns is grid instability. Maintaining stable grid frequency in a smaller, independent system is a challenge. The Baltic states may experience greater fluctuations in frequency, leading to potential outages. Think of it like trying to balance a spinning top on a bumpy surface. It takes constant adjustments. Lithuania already has contingency plans to temporarily disconnect heavy energy users in case of shortages. This is a red flag. It suggests they're aware of potential supply issues and are preparing for the worst. This could disrupt industrial activity and have a real economic impact. Then there's the cost factor. The Baltic states have already spent a ton of money upgrading their grids. Integration with the EU grid might require even more investments. And, as we mentioned earlier, they're now exposed to the price volatility of the EU market. This could lead to higher energy costs for consumers and businesses. Integration also means increased reliance on EU energy suppliers. Any disruptions to the EU energy supply could directly impact the Baltic states. Putting all your eggs in one basket always carries risk. Finally, let's talk ethics. There's a delicate balancing act between energy security and the affordability of energy for citizens and businesses. Governments have a responsibility to be transparent with their citizens about the potential risks and benefits of this transition. Clear communication is key. And of course, there's the big one: the potential for escalation of tensions between Russia and the Baltic states. This move could be seen as a provocation by Russia, leading to further aggression or cyber attacks. We're walking a tightrope here. So, what's the verdict? The disconnection from the Russian grid is a strategic move with significant implications for energy security, regional geopolitics, and the integration of the Baltic states into the European Union. While there are potential short-term challenges, the long-term benefits are expected to outweigh the costs if they can navigate the risks. Keep an eye on the following: how Kaliningrad adapts to its electrical isolation, the price of energy in the Baltics, and any signs of increased Russian aggression or cyber attacks. This situation is dynamic, and the stakes are incredibly high. The next few months will be crucial. What do you think? Was this the right move for the Baltic nations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the biggest tech and geopolitical stories shaping our world. Thanks for watching.